So guys, let us be real for a second because you probably think the economy is getting better just because the stock market hit a new high. But the truth is most of you are actually getting poorer every single day while you sleep. Inflation is eating your purchasing power like a hungry wolf, and if you do not have a concrete exit strategy, you are essentially signing a death warrant for your freedom. I remember back when I was 22 years old working a soul-crushing job that paid me peanuts, and I realized if I did not find a way to make money while I slept, I was going to be that 70-year-old guy still clocking in for a boss who does not even know my name. Before we dive into the exact numbers of how I built my $120,000 portfolio, I want you to do something right now. Drop a comment below with your current age and the exact dollar amount you are investing every single month. I do not care if it is $5 or $5,000 because the only way we win this game is through radical transparency and accountability. Seriously, pause the video and type it out because we are building a community of winners here. Now look, when I started, I was a complete simpleton with zero finance degree. My parents used to give me money for a Charles Schwab custodial account instead of video games for Christmas, and I hated it back then. I thought it was the most boring gift ever, like getting a gift card for a podiatrist, but man, were they right. The moment the light bulb turned on for me was seeing a quote from Warren Buffett saying, "If you do not find a way to make money in your sleep, you will work until you die." That hit me like a freight train. I was depressed and miserable in a corporate cubicle, and I realized that investing is not about greed, it is about ownership of your time. I started getting serious right when the world shut down in 2020. I stopped going out and I stopped buying dumb stuff. I realized that most people are just flat out broke because they are trying to look rich. They are financing $50,000 trucks while their bank accounts are screaming for help. I took the opposite route. I lived in what felt like a minimal concrete box, and I drove an old 2006 car that most people would be embarrassed to be seen in. But you know what is not embarrassing? Having a $120,000 portfolio that pays you every single month. I started focusing on the heavy hitters like VU, which is the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, and VTI for that broad market exposure. Then I discovered the magic of dividend growth investing with SCHD. Think about it. You own shares of companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, McDonald's, and Microsoft. These giants are out there working for you 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Every time someone buys a Big Mac or a Starbucks latte, a tiny fraction of that money flows back into your pocket. That is the ultimate exit strategy. The hard part is the beginning. When you get your first dividend check and it is only 22 cents or maybe $1.50, you feel like it is never going to matter. You feel like you are trying to empty the ocean with a teaspoon. But this is where the discipline of DCA or dollar cost averaging comes in. You have to be a machine. You have to invest every 2 weeks regardless of whether the market is up or down or sideways. Stop trying to time the market because timing the market is a fool's errand. Time in the market is the only thing that creates true wealth. It is like going to the gym. You do not walk in on day one and bench press 225 pounds. You start with the empty bar and you build that muscle over years. Financial freedom is a marathon, not a sprint, and most of you are tripping at the starting line because you want instant gratification. I am currently averaging close to $400 every single month in passive income. That covers a huge chunk of my basic needs without me lifting a finger. When you know your bills are paid by your assets and not your labor, you become a different person. You are no longer a slave to a paycheck. You can tell a bad boss to take a hike because you have the ultimate FU money growing in the background. I utilize my Roth IRA to the absolute max because tax-free growth is the greatest gift the government ever gave us. If you are not maxing out your Roth IRA before buying designer clothes, you are literally robbing your future self. We only get one shot at this life. Do you really want to spend 40 years doing things you hate just to pay for things you do not need to impress people you do not like? The snowball effect is real, but you have to be the one to push it off the hill. It starts slow and it stays slow for a long time, but once it picks up speed, it becomes an unstoppable force of nature. I went from $0 to $120,000 by being consistent and staying boring. Boring is sexy when it makes you rich. Stop looking for the next meme stock or the next pump and dump scheme. Those are just traps designed to turn you into exit liquidity for the big players. Stick to the index funds, stick to the high-quality dividend payers, stay disciplined with your DCA. You do not need to be a genius or a Wall Street analyst to figure this out. If a simple guy like me can flip the switch and start building a life of freedom, then truly anyone can do it. The only difference between where you are and where you want to be is the action you take today, not tomorrow and not next year. Today, get your account set up and automate your contributions and let the power of compounding do the heavy lifting for you. It has completely changed my life and the way I view the world. Investing is the means to an end, and that end is complete and total freedom. I want you to understand that every dollar you invest today is a seed for a tree that will provide shade for you tomorrow. Most people are busy cutting down their trees before they even sprout. They see a little bit of profit and they sell, or they see a little bit of red and they panic. You cannot be that person. You have to be the stone cold investor who looks at a market crash as a massive clearance sale at your favorite store. When Vatso goes down, you should be celebrating because you are getting more shares for every dollar you put in. That is how the $120,000 milestone was reached. It was not through some lucky strike. It was through the relentless accumulation of assets while everyone else was busy consuming. Look at your lifestyle right now. Are you living for the weekends or are you living for your legacy? If you are spending $7 on a daily coffee but you are not putting $7 into your brokerage account, then your priorities are upside down. You are literally drinking your retirement. I know it sounds harsh, but someone has to tell you the truth in a world full of fake gurus telling you that you can get rich quick. You cannot get rich quick without massive risk, but you can get rich for sure if you have patience. The system is designed to keep you in debt and keep you working. Breaking free requires a radical shift in your psychology. You have to start seeing yourself as a business owner and your shares as your employees. My $120,000 portfolio is a team of silent workers who never call in sick and never ask for a raise and never complain. They just show up every single day and grind for me. That is the power of the stock market. You are hitching your wagon to the most successful companies in human history. Do you really think Apple and Amazon and Microsoft are going to stop trying to make money? Of course not, so why not take a piece of that action for yourself? The wealth gap is real, but the bridge over that gap is made of index funds and dividend stocks. I want you to think about what your life would look like if you did not have to worry about money. What would you do with your time? Who would you spend it with? That is what we are fighting for. We are not fighting for a number on a screen. We are fighting for the right to say no to things that do not serve us. Every time I hit that buy button on my app, I am buying a little bit more of my life back from the corporate machine. It is a slow process, but it is the only one that actually works for the common man. I want you to commit to this journey with me. This is not just a one-time video. This is a lifestyle change. We are going to track this progress together, and we are going to celebrate the wins, and we are going to stay calm during the losses. Because in the end, the market always moves up and to the right over the long term. If you can handle the volatility, you can reap the rewards. Stop being the guy who buys at the top and sells at the bottom because he is scared. Be the guy who stays the course. Be the guy who keeps his 2006 car and keeps his expenses low so he can keep his investment rate high. That is the secret sauce. There is no magic formula beyond math and time. If you can master those two things, you will be wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. I am telling you this because I have been in the trenches and I have felt the despair of being broke and I have felt the relief of being prepared. The choice is yours. You can keep complaining about the economy or you can start building your own. My exit strategy is already in motion and I am never looking back. If you want to see the full breakdown of every single stock I own and how they have performed over the last 6 years, click right over here to watch the next video. I am serious about this. Do not be the person who watches this and then goes back to scrolling through social media for 3 hours. Go open your account, go set up that $50 automatic transfer. Go look at your bank statement and find the leaks. Maybe it is that gym membership you never use or that subscription service for a magazine you do not read. Cut the fat. Every single cent matters when you are building the foundation of your future. I look at my $120,000 and I do not see a pile of cash. I see 10 years of my life that I have bought back. I see the ability to wake up and drink my coffee without dreading the commute. I see the ability to travel and see the world without checking with a manager first. That is what this channel is all about. It is about empowering you to take control. Most people will tell you that the stock market is a gamble, but they are the ones gambling with their lives by not participating. The house always wins in a casino, but in the stock market, the owners of the companies are the house. Be the owner. Stop being the customer. Stop giving your money to everyone else and start giving it to yourself. The transition from a consumer mindset to an owner mindset is the most important leap you will ever make. It is the difference between surviving and thriving. It is the difference between being a pawn and being a player. I started with nothing. I worked the late shifts. I skipped the parties. I chose the 2006 Corolla over the 2024 SUV, and now I am here telling you that it was all worth it. The peace of mind I have now is something that no luxury item could ever provide. You cannot buy freedom at a shopping mall. You can only build it with patience and discipline. So let us get to work. Let us make 2026 the year that everything changed for you. Let us make it the year you decided to stop playing small and start thinking big. The opportunities are everywhere if you are looking for them. The resources are at your fingertips. All you need is the will to execute. I will be here every week sharing my updates and my strategies and my mistakes so you do not have to make them. We are in this together. Let us build something that lasts. Let us build a legacy that our future selves will thank us for. If you found any value in this video, please share it with one friend who needs to hear this. One friend who is struggling and looking for a way out, because sometimes all it takes is one spark to light a fire. And I hope this video was that spark for you. Do not let the flame go out. Keep the momentum going, keep learning, and keep growing, and keep investing. The destination is beautiful, but the journey is where the real growth happens. It is where you find out what you are truly made of. It is where you prove to yourself that you are capable of greatness. I believe in you. I know you can do this. Now go out there and make it happen. I will see you in the next one where we dive deep into the specific weightings of my portfolio and how I plan to reach the next milestone of $250,000. It is going to be a wild ride, and I am glad you are along for it. Stay focused and stay disciplined and stay hungry for more. Your freedom is waiting for you on the other side of consistency. Do not let anything stop you from getting there. The market is open and the clock is ticking. You might think that the current state of the world is too chaotic to start, but that is exactly when the best opportunities arise. When blood is in the streets, you buy property, and when uncertainty is in the air, you buy quality companies. I remember hearing people say that the stock market was going to crash to zero in 2020, and those are the same people who are now crying about missing the massive rally. Do not listen to the noise of the crowd. The crowd is almost always wrong because the crowd is driven by emotion and fear. You have to be driven by data and logic. My data shows that if I keep my head down and keep my DCA consistent, I will be a multimillionaire before I am 50. That is not a guess. It is just the math of the market. You have to ask yourself if you are willing to suffer a little bit now so you do not have to suffer for the rest of your life. Are you willing to be the weird one in your friend group who does not have the newest clothes but has the biggest brokerage account? Are you willing to say no to the instant hit of dopamine from a new purchase so you can have the long-term peace of mind from a growing asset base? This is the psychology of wealth that nobody teaches in school. They want you to be a good little consumer who works hard and spends everything so you stay dependent on the system. I am here to tell you that there is a way out and the door is wide open. You just have to have the courage to walk through it. I want you to look at your bank account today and find $100 that you are wasting. Is it a subscription? Is it eating out? Is it a habit that is killing you? Take that $100 and move it into a brokerage account and buy VU or SCHD. Do it right now. Do not wait until Monday. Do not wait until you get paid. Start the habit of being an investor today. Once you cross that line and you see your first dividend payment, something in your brain will change forever. You will realize that you do not have to work for every single dollar. You will realize that money can be your slave instead of your master. That realization is worth more than any amount of cash. It is the beginning of your new life. I want to see you succeed because when we all succeed, we create a better world. We create a world where people are not trapped in misery just to survive. We create a world of creators and owners and thinkers. So hit that subscribe button if you are ready to take this seriously. We have a lot more content coming your way about tax strategies and portfolio rebalancing and how to handle a bear market without losing your mind. We are just getting started, and I want you to be part of this movement. Every single person watching this has the potential to be financially free. The only thing standing in your way is your own hesitation. Burn the bridges and move forward and do not look back. Your future self is waiting for you to make this decision. Let us make it a good one. I will see you in the next video where we break down the exact weightings of my portfolio position so you can see how I manage risk and reward. It is going to be high density and high information, and I promise it will be the best thing you watch all day. Keep your head up and keep your goals in sight and keep investing like your life depends on it because it actually does. The world does not owe you anything, but you owe yourself everything. Go get what is yours. Stop being afraid of the volatility because volatility is the price you pay for admission to the greatest wealth machine ever created. If the market never went down, there would be no opportunity for you to buy in at a discount. Every red day is a gift if you have a long-term horizon. If you are 20 or 30 or even 40 years old, you should be praying for market crashes so you can accumulate more shares at lower prices. This is the perspective of a true investor versus a panicked retail gambler. I built my $120,000 portfolio by keeping my eyes on the prize and my finger on the buy button. I did not care what the headlines said, and I did not care what the talking heads on the news were shouting about. I only cared about my share count and my dividend yield. That is the only metric that matters in the long run. How many assets do you own and how much cash flow do they generate? Everything else is just vanity if you can get your head around that you are already ahead of 90% of the population. They are busy chasing the next hot trend while you are busy building a foundation that will support you for decades. This is the difference between building a sandcastle and building a skyscraper. The skyscraper takes longer and requires more effort, but it will withstand the storms that wash away the sandcastles. I want you to be the skyscraper. I want you to be the one who stands tall when the economy gets shaky. I want you to be the one who has options when everyone else is trapped. That is the gift of investing. It is the gift of choice. It is the gift of freedom. So take the first step today and do not look back. You have the tools and you have the knowledge, and now you just need the execution. Let us make it happen together. I am proud of you for making it this far in the video because most people have the attention span of a goldfish. Look, $1 million Your ability to is focus the on this universal long-form content and is we a are going to competitive get there advantage in in a a world world of of short-term to do it in distractions. three Use that advantage to different build your ways, wealth. Because I know use it to everyone is educate starting yourself, from a different use it spot. to The change real your question family is tree how much forever. would you The actually path need is to clear, invest and every every single single day day to make it happen in I am just telling 10 you this as a years. friend Most people and guess as a way fellow off, investor some who guess has way seen too the high, results and others firsthand. guess way too low. It is possible. The real and number it is the kind of
achievable
thing
and
that
is
changes
waiting
how
for
you
you
think
to
about
claim it.
almost
So
every
let us
other
go. The
financial
market is
decision
calling
you
and
make.
your
I
future
am
is
going to
calling.
find that
Answer
number
the call and
3
start
different
building your
ways.
empire
In this
one
video,
share at a
I am
time.
going to
I am
walk
excited
through
to see where you are in
index
5
fund
years from now.
portfolios.
I am
One
excited
is
to
built
hear
for
your
30
success
years,
stories in
one
the
for
comments.
20
We are
years,
creating
and
a
one for just
legacy
10
here,
years.
and you
All
are a
three
vital
start from
part of it.
$0
Let us keep
and
the
all
momentum
three end
high
at
and
the
the
same
cost low. Let us keep our eyes on the horizon and our feet on the ground.
For
Wealth
each
is not a
portfolio,
destination,
you will
but
see
a
the
journey of
exact
consistent
funds
how
and
much I put
discipline
into
to
each
actions.
one.
You
and
are
what
already
balance
on the
looks
right
like year
track
by
by
year
being
in the
here.
end. I will
Now
show
just
you
keep
how to
moving.
reach
Do not stop until you
100,000
reach the finished dollars. And even then keep going because the higher you go, the more people you can help along the way. Let us start with the ultimate goal. Success is not just about you, it is about what you can do for others. And what does it actually do for you? Let us get wealthy together and change the world. Let us say you have nothing saved for retirement. The journey of 1,000 miles, not a single dollar. You work a regular job, make a regular income, and until about a week ago, the sky is the limit, and even then we can go higher. I will see you in the numbers. The number everyone talks about is 1,000 total financial independence. You are a winner, and it is time to start retirement strategy called get your finances in order and get your mind right and get your future secured. If you have 1,000, now go prove me right. The world is waiting for dollars invested in an index fund portfolio. You can pull out start now and finish strong. You have what it takes. Now that is $40,000. Your wealth building journey starts today. Are you ready? Next year you adjust the $120,000 and you do it again is just the beginning. The reason this works without draining the account is because the market typically grows faster than 4%. We are climbing the mountain, $40,000 a year to live on. The portfolio is still growing. I will see you there. The principal usually stays intact, and in a lot of cases, the best is yet to come. I promise you that if you stay the course, $40,000 a year breaks down in ways you cannot going into your account every single month. The magic of compounding is waiting for you. The average social the freedom of passive income is around $2,076. The life you have always dreamed of, and you are looking at over $5,400. One day at a time, one share at a time, $1 at a time. We are making progress every single day, even when it does not feel like how to get there from zero. The roots are deep, and the answer depends almost entirely on something nurture our investments and watch them bloom into how much time you are willing to give it. No matter which timeline you pick, the funds you use. The marathon continues. So it is time to look at the three funds we are working. And man, what a roller coaster. The three funds are all from Fidelity. One you have definitely heard this morning, one you might have all the way until lunch, that is about to rally to recover. The first is FXA. The Fidelity, and the initial sell came from a new inflation report. It is the biggest, most boring fund in labor statistics, and that is exactly why it works. FX tracks the S&P 500, which is the 500 largest companies in the U.S. It does not when you buy it, you are basically buying a slice of the American economy. The expense ratio is 0.01, and if you look at the official report, they make this stuff free as investing unadjusted. Over the last 10 years, it has averaged about 12.9, currently sitting at an annual share price appreciation. A lot of this is the foundation of every portfolio in this video. The second does not mean everything is a loser. The Fidelity Nasdaq the recovery today is a really nice sign of strength. It shows that nothing instead of the S&P 500, it tracks above average inflation, which typically lowers the odds we are going to get. These are the kind of companies that grow faster, but also swing harder. Despite all this, the index continues to paint averaged about 16.91% in annual appreciation. All things being equal, this is the higher reward and higher volatility, the biggest gain, and the ones going up the most. And finally, where the big institutions are Fidelity Semiconductors have been on an absolute tear. This is the wild card. Skyrocketed over one semiconductor company. Just in April 2026 alone, every laptop and every AI model. Over the last 10 years, Phelps demand for AI chips is so high that customers are paying top dollar for imperfect. That is not a type about that. It is also making money from wafers formerly semiconductors are cyclical. This is how you win. Find the strength and you stay with it. But for the right portfolio payments are also rising up the ranks. Phelps is the engine that makes a direct beneficiary here when Bitcoin and Ethereum surge, more people buy. Now let us see how Coinbase generates more. And we are going to start with Bitcoin is rounding out the bottom, and Coinbase start with the longest timeline, 30 years. I think this is a reason we can buy on a breakout above the $218 area. If it breaks 220, we could be targeting the 275 range. Here's how it breaks down: 60% in FXA, 30%. You have the support of the 10 and 50-day moving averages, and assuming the broad market does the heavy lifting, have a nice clean run. The Nasdaq. I'm also looking at TRX semiconductors are there for a small sector. Over the last year, it is a leading group. TRX has a relative strength together, and what you get is a portfolio with outperforming 96% dividend yield and a 6. I want to buy this on pullbacks to the 50-day moving average. The annual share price is a perfect pullback just over 15%. I am dividend yield trades, but I am sizing down a bit because 30 years to extended. I am going from $20,000 trades down to 15% appreciation is doing the heavy lifting. Just because the market is hitting new highs, how much do you actually have to invest to make this work? Be $6 a day. That is it. This is $6 a day. The $120,000 coffee exit strategy. And here's what happens to that $6 a day. By the end of year one, your account sits at $2,190. Wealth is basically what you put in by year 10. That account is projected to be at $45,000.